I said on air that what we're about to talk about would be a good question to answer. I was like, oh, that's a good discussion to have. And then I avoided it because it's a hard question. So with a day, I thought I'd come back and I'd give it another go. What is the best move the Canes have made all spring? What is the best move the Canes have made all spring? ESPN, in their offseason recap of the Canes, gave them a C-, and in their all-loving snark, right, in their contempt, they said this. But hey, the Hurricanes got a third-round pick from Tampa Bay for Gensel's signing rights, and that's about the best move they've made all spring. And my first reaction was, there's no way. That's not the best move they made all spring. And I said, but that'd be a good question to answer. And then we moved on and we never went back to it. So let's ask, what is the best move the Canes have made all spring? First of all, let's bring up some contenders, right? I really like the Jalen Chatfield signing. I really like the Shane Gostisbehere signing. I really like the Sean Walker signing. I like that they bring back Martinook. I would have liked it at a little bit less money. Actually, I guess you could say that for every contract. I'd like for them all to be a little bit less money.
Whatever. It's not my money. Sign however much you want.
But zero-sum game, right? For every dollar you don't spend on player A, you got more to spend on player B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way down the rest of the line.
I'm happy he got what he got.
I'm happy for Martinook, don't get me wrong. I'm just looking at I'm just saying. That's why it won't be my choice. My choice is actually a reunion. Shane Gostisbehere, 3 years, $9.6 million. That's my choice for the best move they've made all spring. And for a few reasons. One, I like and it's a little different because Don Waddell moved on, so it's not the exact same front office, but I like the humility of it. I like that Gostisbehere was here. And for whatever reason, they couldn't make it work for him to stay here, chose to pay other guys. And then in the future, they had an opportunity to say, actually, he did fit what we do. We would like to have him back. And they weren't too proud, right? Sometimes you see that where it's like, no, he wasn't good enough. I told you, I was right when I let him walk. And then you never bring him back, even if it might be the right deal. Secondly, 3 years, $9.6 million. That allows him to significantly save money on the defense based on Shea and Pesci's salaries elsewhere, while also having a veteran around, who's been a part of the system already, so he already knows a few tricks of the trade. Right? The best move the Canes made all spring. I will admit, they didn't make the splashiest moves in the world, right? I will admit there's no it feels like the crown jewel is missing, but they're not looking for I don't even know what if re-signing Gensel to a long-term deal or something would have been the crown jewel. Getting a third-round pick for his rights from Tampa Bay still doesn't make the list of top 10 things they did this spring. And that here's a reference for you. On Fridays we always have a bunch of reference. Are you an Elton John fan, Dennis?
Not really.
No?
There's a couple songs I like, but not.
That's fair.
Not gonna go. Let's listen to Elton John.
Well, you should.
I don't.
He apparently does not love Crocodile Rock, right? It's his song, probably made a bunch of money off of it. There's probably a bunch of merchandise he sells that says Crocodile Rock with an alligator. But that's not his go-to, right? I think he would be a little insulted if you were like, best song he's ever had, Crocodile Rock, right? Because it's no. You're discrediting all the legit, come on, right? You're discrediting all of these classics that Daniel, your song, on and on and on and on. We could keep going, but we don't have to. Saying that the best move they made all spring was getting a third rounder for Jake Gensel is insulting the rest of their catalog of things they did. Like the Sean Walker deal, right? Again, allows you to get cheaper in defense, right? Cheaper on the defensive side of the ice, which maybe allowed you to be more comfortable paying Slavin, which maybe made you a little bit more comfortable to do some things up front. Maybe just makes you more comfortable in your cap space moving forward. And you still have 2 veterans to replace Shea and Pesce in Walker and Gostisbehere. The Chatfield contract I love. There's by getting it in the wrong order, you're insulting a little bit there. What's your best move they made, Dennis? Did I bring it up? Was it something that I said?
I think my best move, I think it's actually the Sean Walker.
Yeah. So it's similar.
It's very similar. I think that he being Sean Walker actually might be someone that actually plays in your top 4. It would not surprise me if Gostisbehere is back with Chatfield. It would not surprise me if Sean Walker is up there with Dmitry Orlov as a pair. It would not surprise me to see that. I think
I'm sure they'll try it out.
And so for me, it's again not super expensive, but also you got that long term moving forward. So I think that to me, the Sean Walker signing might be my number 1 this offseason. If that's not it, it's bringing back Jordan Martinook.
Really?
Yes.
At 3.05?
I think
per?
Yeah. I thought he was going to make, if he on the open market was probably going to get somewhere between 2.5 to 3. So
yeah,
I mean, they paid market value for him.
If it's 2.5, they 3.05. They gave him an extra $50K.
Okay, extra $50K. Good for him.
Hey, $50K is nothing to scoff at.
No, it's not.
For them, maybe.
I'll take it.
For them, maybe. And obviously, he still gets to keep cashing in on the beer.
You do that.
And by the way, like we talked off air about like the Jacob Slavin extension being the best move they made all spring. I almost look at that as like, did you have to make that decision? Like that's just to do it, right? That's like, do you need to have was it a decision for me not to kick the door in and instead use the handle when I walked into the studio? It's like, no, that's just common sense. You use the handle, you walk in. Like, did you make a decision to sign Jacob Slavin to an 8-year contract, or is it just like, no, that's common sense. You grab the handle and you open the door.